Welcome to the Book Voices channel. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with our latest book discussions. Now let's dive into today's book.
Okay, so you sent over some really interesting material, and today we're doing that deep dive into one piece that, well, it's definitely made waves. Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek.
That's right. We're looking at the expanded edition, the one from 2009. But honestly, the core stuff still feels incredibly relevant.
Yeah, it really does. And you mentioned wanting to, get the essence quickly, get up to speed thoroughly.
Exactly. That's the plan here.
Yeah.
Pull out the key nuggets, those real insights, without needing to read the whole thing cover to cover.
Right. So the mission for this deep dive really is to get under the hood of this philosophy. Escaping the 9 to 5, living anywhere, joining the new rich, as he calls them.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of wild when you think about it. The book almost didn't happen. So many publishers turned it down initially.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, almost all of them. Then, boom, massive success. It clearly hit a nerve, tapped into something people were feeling.
Definitely seems like it. So how does he structure it? There's a framework, right?
Yep, he uses this acronym. DEAL stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. It's the backbone of the whole thing.
EEL. Okay.
And today, we're going to focus on that first, absolutely crucial step, D for definition.
Got it. Definition. So this is where he starts shaking things up, challenging the norms about work, success, life itself.
Pretty much. He kicks it off with a really potent story to contrast different kinds of success.
Oh, yeah, the anecdote about the guy on the plane. Mark, was that?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Mark, super wealthy guy, gas stations, convenience stores, even gambling stuff down in South Carolina. By all traditional metrics, totally successful.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Always. The kicker is Mark was completely unfulfilled. Ferriss quotes him saying something like he spent decades working with people he didn't like just to buy stuff he didn't need.
Oof. That paints a picture. One of the living dead, I think Ferriss called him.
Exactly. It's this stark contrast that sets up his whole argument about the difference between deferrers, people following the traditional path, and the new rich.
Deferrers and new rich. Okay. So what are the big differences in how they operate, according to Ferriss?
Well, take the goal. A deferrer might aim to work for yourself. Sounds good, right? Autonomy.
Uh-huh.
But the new rich aim to have others work for you. It's a subtle shift, but huge. It's about building systems, not just being self-employed.
Right. Moving beyond trading your own time directly for money, even if you're the boss. That makes sense.
And then there's when you work. A deferrer might want to work when you want to.
Which sounds like freedom.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But the new rich focus on preventing work for work's sake, doing the minimum needed for the maximum effect. He calls it the minimum effective load.
Minimum effective load. So efficiency and impact, not just flexible hours.
Precisely. It's intentional. And think about retirement. The deferred dream is often retiring early or young.
The classic goal. Get out ASP.
Yeah. But the new rich, they focus on distributing adventures throughout life, these mini retirements, he calls them.
Mini retirements. So not delaying all the good stuff until you're 65.
Exactly. Weaving freedom and exploration in now, and recognizing that maybe doing nothing forever isn't the real goal anyway.
It shifts what you value, doesn't it? Like deferrers might focus on buying all the things you want to have.
Right. Accumulating stuff. Whereas the new rich prioritize doing all the things you want to do and being all the things you want to be. Experiences over possessions.
So the stuff is maybe a tool, but not the end goal itself.
That's the idea. If it helps you do the things, great. But it's secondary.
Okay, what about control? Deferrers might want to be the boss instead of the employee.
Yeah, climb that ladder. But Ferriss says the new rich aim to be neither the boss nor the employee, but the owner. Owning the system, creating that leverage and distance.
Owning the machine rather than just running it or being a cog in it. Different kind of freedom.
Totally. And financially, it's not just about making money for its own sake. A deferrer might just want to make a ton of money, full stop.
Sure, big number in the bank.
But the new rich, they aim to make a ton of money with specific reasons. Define dreams, timelines, steps. It's intentional wealth tied to actual life goals.
That connects to the idea of having more, right? He contrasts that with something else.
Yeah, the new rich pursue more quality and less clutter. It's about curating your life, not just endless accumulation. Recognizing that a lot of desires are just distractions.
Like that example he uses of someone haggling for ages over a tiny discount on a luxury car.
Exactly. It makes you ask, what's the point of all that effort? Is it serving a real purpose? Which leads to the last comparison. The defer, aiming for the big payoff.
The IPO, the acquisition, the lump sum retirement, the one big score.
Right, but the new rich.
Yeah.
They think big, but ensure payday comes every day.
Yeah.
Cash flow first, big payday second. Sustainable income for the life you want now.
Yeah. And finally, freedom from things versus freedom to do things.
Yeah, deferrers want freedom from doing that which you dislike, escaping the bad parts.
Understood.
But the new rich want that. Plus, the freedom and resolve to pursue your dreams without reverting to work for work's sake. Actively chasing passions, not just avoiding chores, and realizing you might need to consciously rediscover those passions after years on the treadmill.
That rediscovery part is interesting. So this all ties into the freedom multiplier concept he talks about.
Absolutely central. He argues that controlling what you do, when, where, and with whom you do it, those 4 W's, dramatically boosts the real value of your money.
So the same salary can feel completely different depending on how much control you have over those factors.
Exactly. Think of his investment banker example. Huge salary, 80-hour weeks, zero control over the W's.
Right.
Compare that to someone earning way less, but with total freedom over time and location.
Mm-hmm.
That lower income with the freedom multiplier can actually buy a much richer life, more satisfying.
So who are these new rich people then? It's not just tech titans.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He gives really down-to-earth examples, like the employee who manages to negotiate remote work, gets the same results done in way less time, gains massive freedom.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Or the business owner who outsources the stuff they don't like or aren't good at, streamlines things, frees themselves up for what they're passionate about, but the business still runs.
Right. Automation or delegation.
And even like a student who figures out some online way to create passive income so they can focus on studying or whatever else they care about without financial stress dictating everything.
These examples show it's really about a mindset shift, isn't it? Questioning the default path, seeing other possibilities.
Totally. It requires shifting your assumptions, realizing there are often alternative ways, more liberating ways to set things up.
And he uses stories to illustrate finding those alternatives, right? Like that skier.
Oh yeah, Dale Begsmith. Incredible story. Olympic gold medalist in mogul skiing.
Right. World-class athlete.
And at the same time, from a young age, he was running a successful internet company. He didn't choose one or the other. He did both.
Wow. That's the definition of defying the either mentality. While others just train, he built a business too.
Exactly. It shows how often the limits we see are ones we kind of put on ourselves.
That's powerful. And then there's that family who traveled the world.
Julie and Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, took their 3 young kids around the world for, what was it, 15 months?
15 months. That's amazing.
And get this. It cost them less than their rent back in Paris.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously. It just blows up that idea that you need millions in the bank for a millionaire lifestyle of freedom and travel. It's about priorities and, smart planning, leveraging differences in cost of living.
Absolutely. And the side benefits for the kids must have been huge. Resilience, real-world learning.
Totally. He mentions how it helped their development, gave them cultural exposure you just can't get in a classroom. Sometimes the unconventional path has these unexpected, amazing outcomes.
And he includes feedback from readers too, doesn't he? To show it's not just theory.
Yeah, these quick testimonials.
Ah.
Like Deb, who found an alternative school for her son during a mini-retirement.
Okay.
Or Anthony, this young guy who left his job, started his own thing, traveled the world, all before he could even legally buy a beer in the States.
Wow. Real people applying these ideas in different ways. Lifestyle design in action.
Exactly. Shows the diversity of how it can play out.
Okay, so wrapping up this first part, this definition stage. The big takeaways seem to be about, well, first, questioning everything. All those assumptions about work, wealth, what a good life even means.
Definitely. It's job number 1.
And then shifting focus from delaying gratification way out into the future to actually building a fulfilling life now.
Prioritizing time and mobility. Seeing them as real assets, maybe even more valuable than just cash.
Right. And understanding that this millionaire lifestyle he talks about, it's more about experiences and freedom than a specific bank balance.
Precisely. It decouples wealth from just net worth.
So thinking about this, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are the assumptions we hold, personally, about work, about life, that might be boxing us in without us realizing it?
That's the big question, isn't it? What deeply held belief might actually be limiting your options?
And maybe, what's one small thing you could try? Like a tiny experiment, low risk, just to test a different perspective,
Yeah.
to challenge one assumption.
Yeah, just a small test. Remember, the book itself almost universally rejected at first.
Right.
Then it found its audience. It's a good reminder, maybe, to question the status quo, even if an idea seems a bit out there initially. Explore those unconventional paths.
This marks the end of part 1 of our book discussion. If you enjoyed the content, let us know in the comments. Your feedback will help us decide when to share part 2.